the latest twist on it is something that we suspected earlier. 13 years, and the man didn't make any investments within that time period. Okay, so he would just take the money, and he'd take 100 from Anna, 100 from Dave and Jesus, and then he'd pay, Dave back $5 and Anna back from the money he collected. It was a classic Ponzi scheme. It's the definition of a Ponzi scheme. And didn't make any trades, didn't buy any, products or financial products at all, right? And that goes to show me one thing. The SEC was grossly incompetent here. They had a collection of investors in Madoff that all got together in an auditorium. They were asking questions of the regulators. And one of the guys said, an elderly guy who had a little bit of, he thinks about $1.8 million. It's exactly the kind of guy we were talking about before. Worked his whole life to save up that money, not a mega millionaire or a billionaire. Saved that money, invested it on Madoff. And he said, look, but I asked the SEC specifically if it was okay, and you guys gave me your highest approval. Why did you do that? Mm-hmm. And he says, so is it just Madoff that's responsible? Yes, certainly Madoff is primarily responsible by a wide margin, but so are you guys. Why didn't you do your job? And look, this is part of what we're talking about when we say the Republicans deregulated and it hurt real people. The deregulation led to the SEC being like, oh, sweep it under the rug. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, Madoff, he's great. Yeah, no, don't worry about it, Madoff. And then people put their money in, they trusted it, and now it's all gone. So it's really maddening. Now, the second part that enraged me is, that while he's in his apartment, I know this story broke earlier, but as I was reading this story, it reminded me of it. While he's in his apartment, apparently he's sending off money to his relatives. Not just his wife taking out money from different bank accounts, which we told you about before, but he's sending a couple of million here to cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff. Because he's in his apartment and he's figuring out ways to do things, calling people and stuff. Why is the man not in jail?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't get it. I mean, so when we look at this and we say there are two different rules for the very rich and for the rest of us, it's patently obvious. They get Alan Stanford, who ran from the FBI, mm-hmm. right? He was exhausted after a day. He's like, oh, I take a load off my feet, right? And he turned himself in. They serve him papers. Would they serve you papers?
Hell no.
I mean, they'd handcuff you, they'd tase you, they'd throw you in jail. I mean, we talked about it with Stanford. It's true. It's even more true with Madoff. The guy steals $50 billion, and you let him sit in his luxury apartment? Do you know that we haven't even seized Madoff's yachts yet? He has like 6 or 7 yachts. What are we waiting for? We already have all the evidence. The investigator explained it today. So if you explained it, take the yachts, take the homes, take his apartment that he's living in right now, and don't let him stay there and keep funneling money out to friends and relatives. No one can answer that question as to why this man is allowed to do more criminal activity on the outside when he should be sitting in a jail cell. He's taking other people's money and funneling it to his relatives because we're letting him sit up there. It's crazy. I'm thinking of how we got the Young Turks Army, mm-hmm. right? I'm thinking we should use them for real things too.
Right.
Right? I mean, I don't know how we do it, but I'm going to put some thought behind it let's pressure the government to arrest he's already been arrested, but to put the guy in jail already.
And what is this man worth without all the money that he stole from all these people? That's not his money.
Yeah, he stole it. It's but we still view him as oh, Bernie Madoff. He had $50 billion. He didn't, and is right. All he did was take other people's $50 billion and put it in his pocket. Exactly. He's a fucking thief. It's like nobody ever says it, right? I mean, they say it, but not like I just did. But somebody does have to say it like that. This guy is a scumbag. He's the lowest of the low. He's worse than your common mugger. And we treat him with kid gloves. And one of the reasons that they have, technical reason for why he's not in jail right now, is he's not a flight risk. My ass. Look at R.L. and Stanford, the other guy. He ran. What do you mean he's not a flight risk? He's got jets. He's got yachts. You're telling me that you're positive that Bernie Madoff cannot make it out of that luxury apartment? They got every single, subway grate and possible exit of that building covered by the FBI 24 hours of the day? Okay, no way. No way. And who's more likely to run? A guy who has no resources or a guy who has all the resources in the world?
Right. He's going to pull a Roman Polanski and get the hell out of this country.
Look, if I was him, I would.
Right.
Why would I stick around? What am I, a sucker?
Definitely.
Okay? And even if he doesn't run, it's just not fair. It's not just.
And how do you who do you consider a flight risk? Like an African American man? If
Yeah,
Bernie Madoff
that's
was
right.
African American, this would be treated completely differently.
Absolutely. There's no one in the world that can convince me otherwise. Now, if he was a really, really rich African American, yeah, then it might be a little different. Because money matters a lot more than anything else. But you tell me they arrest, a guy who stole $50 or $500 and he's black or he's Mexican, they're not going to arrest him and say he's a flight risk?
That happens every day.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.